So, how are you guys doing today? It's your girl, Rada Creator, coming back with another one. I hope everybody's having a lovely day. Whoever decides to join me, I'm more than happy to see you. I'm sorry that I'm a little behind schedule. I was not paying attention to the time. And so, let me get started today on my God conversations. So, part of this live was created because of uh, a live I was on a couple days ago, and which one of the hosts is so relentlessly trying to convey this distorted version of women by this woman who does not clearly does not know women. But this woman is acting like she's supposed to be chastising women. But the woman never even said if she even has, my thing is this woman never moved as if she has any requirements for the man herself. She moves as if she wants to run behind a man and that we should do as she does and we better be happy, almost like the lady from Wait and Exhale. Savannah, that's a good man. He just going through a bad situation and all that. Look, that ain't me. It never been me. I don't know many women that's like the woman that was speaking. But some people, I guess there are some. Because I saw somebody comment and said like amen or something. So maybe there are two people that I do know that are like that because one of them will only let me not even touch on that. I'm gonna say one person is compromised. Their view is whatever this man's view is. I'm gonna say that. And that's my opinion. I'm not trying to start no fights, but it is my true opinion. I feel like, and I just don't ever, look, never mind. I'm just my own woman and I know who I am. And I know the importance of a woman to a man. And I know that women were not put on this earth to serve a man, regardless of what they think. So part of this live was inspired because this person just keeps on trying to shove this BS down our throat, like every time I turn around. So um and then heavily edited what went on that live and did not even put that the other person that was talking said he don't even like the woman that was speaking. He don't like her. But that was edited out and then just made the sound like he's downing women right along with the other person that downs women. So, I'm just gonna go and just try to teach people. I mean, you don't have to listen. It's not, you don't have to listen. You're more than welcome to stay. You're more than welcome to go. But I'm going to tell you some knowledge of which I know. And the comment that I made in this live, me, because that's what I said. That woman don't speak for me. They had this woman on there talking about the woman always saying they want a man that's this, a man that's that, a man that's this, a man that's that. And then she was saying check, check, check. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, when I just started doing that, I seen it there, and then all of a sudden it got pulled down again. I don't know what's going on. Somebody try to stop my live, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep on going my live. But what was I at and what was I talking about? Never mind. Let's get into the education part of this. So what I remember is I was talking about this live that kinda it just always reminds me, and I had made a comment in this live about men truly respecting women. I didn't say women, I might have said me, but I mean women, period. Because people don't understand what respect means. Because a lot of men feel like the woman is put here to serve them, and that's not the truth. So the woman is here to compliment you. The woman is here. So anyway, let me just get into what I was here to talk about. So I came to talk about hold on, let me turn this off. I hope it don't say nothing when I turn it off, because my thing is on this talking menu type thing where it says when it cuts off, it announces it. So, but yeah. So um let me start off with what I said on the thing, and let me break down what I said. So I said they were saying something about God's order is that God comes first, and then the man is the head, and then the woman comes after. So I said, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I remember I said God's love does not depend on whether a woman submits or not to a man, or something like that, right? So, and I still stand on that, regardless of the order, regardless of what I'm about to say right now. What I'm about to say might shock a lot of people because they don't believe in the type of thing that I believe in. But I happen to know that the Bible was created in 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea. Also, Christianity was created here. Now, you don't have to believe me. You could look it up. You could think I'm lying, and you could go look it up and then tell me I'm lying. So this was formed for some type of reason. This religion was formed for a reason. And notice the time, and I said 325 AD. That translates to 325 years after Jesus lived. So why create the Bible 325 years after Jesus lived? Because everybody who known him and loved him are dead and gone. Why do that? Now, this was created, all of this was created for an agenda. What I do know is that religions are created to control. Maybe to control and brainwash, maybe to control and manipulate, or maybe, but I know the main thing is to control. Because they control your mind, they control you. If they control how you think, they control you. So anyway, now I happen to be into a certain spirituality that was created a long time before that. So I wanted to talk about the reason why I'm into this, not just because what I have recently learned, I mean, it is among that as well. So what I have recently learned um enlightened me that, not even enlightened me, reminded me. Because when I was young, I went to a certain school that taught me all about African American history. No, African history, period. It could be African American or it could be just strictly African. But everything in my school was designed to make sure I'm enriched on knowing my Black knowledge. And this was like a K through 8 school. So they just made sure I knew my African history, period. So I learned about the Kemet people, or as we would say now, the ancient Egyptian people. I learned about them in like third grade. I just didn't carry a lot of the details with me, but I learned about them a long time ago. So, so what I did carry with me is that they believed in reincarnation, but I didn't call it that because I was only 8. I called it like being born again, living lives over and over again. And so I said, I don't know if I agree with that yet, though. Like, I don't know if I agree with that. So anyway, I was actually reminded about this again when I was like 20 or in my 20s. So I was reminded about this again, but I wouldn't say that I gravitated to it. I'm just going to say I was reminded about it again because I was watching something about all the different religions. I just like stuff like that. I like stuff like that because I believe it's something to take from all religions or all spiritualities, except for Satanism. I ain't with that. So, other than that, I believe it's something to take from every religion or spirituality. There is something to be learned or knowledge to be gained from all of these things. Like I don't look down on any of that, but so don't mistake me if I be saying certain stuff and it might sound a little like I'm looking down on something. I'm never looking down on anyone. I just am more focused on trying to reveal the truth because these are the type of conversations that I have with God when I'm alone with God. So, period. So, I'm just trying to make sure that my platform is a place where you can get the knowledge that God would want you to know. And you don't have to believe me. I'm just saying that's where I'm coming from with it. So, anyway, so what was I saying about something about the Kim people? Well, what I do know is that okay, so in ancient Kemet, which is now known as Egypt, because in 30 BC, 30 BC, um, it was taken over by the Romans and the Greeks. Okay, so I don't know, and another thing I was just thinking about the timing of that, and what part did that play of um, spiritual knowledge because they took over that, but they changed it to something called hermetics instead of cometics, like hermetics. So they tried to follow what we teach and what we lived by, but they didn't quite understand it the way that we did because a lot of things, just as is in the Bible, are metaphors, are stories that are metaphors to teach you about the way life should be lived or the lessons of life. It's not meant to say, oh, this person was a real person. It's almost like an analogy or a metaphor so you can understand the moral of the story or the purpose of this lesson or the purpose of the story. So so but there's this thing called Comedics. This is a spirituality that dates back to ancient Kemet people, but it was changed to the word Hermetics after the Greeks and the Romans took over in, did I say 30 BC? I think it was 30 BC. Yeah, it's 30 BC. So anyway, but before that, it was comedics. That's why I say I'm into comedics or whatever. And so this really does not have much it does it's hard to explain. So it does not have like holy books, but what we do have is hieroglyphics. They are still left on these walls, the ancient walls. It's certain ancient artifacts. Um, I don't know if this is connected to comedics, but it could be. It has been found on whoever that is. How you doing? So it has been found on the wall of uh I was about to say, I don't know if I said this or not, but the Ten Commandments have been found like 2,000 years before it was put in the Bible, or 2,500 years before it was put in the Bible. So this was already a law of the land, and I believe that came from the Most High Divine God. But yeah, so um, it's just a bunch of little different, things that I don't know what was I trying to say about the comedics and about the writing. Oh, so the ancient hieroglyphs on these walls are open to your interpretation. People that have lived, passed down, I guess, word for word knowledge. And when you do that, things can get distorted and changed. So I believe that the best way to interpret hieroglyphs, ancient hieroglyphs, is to use your own intuition, which I did. And when I used my own intuition, I just found a lot of things that other people, people that choose to read from a book and say, oh, this is what it meant because this person that put this in a book said that. They don't really get the spiritual knowledge that they really need. So, two things that I picked up, and well, not two things, it's a lot of things, but the two main things that I want to talk about today is that, so on one of the things on the ancient hieroglyphic walls or whatever, you will see a bird, right, holding a rod, which happened to be the divining rods that I actually use, is just a more ancient form, which happened to be what the ancient pharaohs, okay, with the ancient leaders, the ancient rulers were buried with, crossed, and Christianity would call that the rod and thy staff. Some people would call it the crook and the flail, but it was a divining rod, and it was, I guess you could say, a staff or whatever. It's something that it was originally used to find irrigation systems and build irrigation systems. It was like a guide, and it was a guide from our ancestors. Our ancestors literally led us to where water is that can't be seen with the naked eye. So if they was walking in the desert of Egypt, our ancestors will be like, water is here, and point them in the direction of water. So then they go follow it. And when they get to the exact place, it'll go off like, yes, right here. Like, and then they can dig until they get to the water. So it's almost like we was getting divine help. That's a lot. That's how a lot of our knowledge was acquired. This is the type of things that we used. We actually walk from within our spirit instead of from within a book. So anyway, one of the things that was on the ancient hieroglyphics was a bird with one of these divining rods with it. And I understood that literally to mean that the ancestors believed, our ancient ancestors believed that our ancestors who have passed on were the birds, and that they watch over us. And like when they're flying around, that is like God's watchful eye and our ancestors' watchful eye over us, like keeping an eye on us. And it also had one of the rods that I actually use to communicate with the other side in the picture. But most people would not know that because most people don't even know what the rods are that I use. But I just happened to catch that, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the rods. And I asked God, is that true? And God was like, yes. So the rods that I use to communicate with the other side was actually depicted in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. And they're going to say, well, my interpretation of what they meant to say is that our ancestors and God communicate through these rods, and they are like the birds, a watchful eye in the sky. Like, that's what I believe the translation was. So then we also have another ancient hieroglyph. Oh, you said that's correct? Yes. Okay. So thank you. So then another hieroglyph that has been put on there is, wait a minute, what the heck was I supposed to be doing? Oh, so the other one I want to talk about today is, okay, so when you see the woman, it is another thing for the man as well. The man has, I believe, a seat attached to his crown. Is that true? Yup. Okay. And I believe that to represent the throne. So, but let me go back to what I meant. The woman has attached to her crown, but now it's been changed all up in the books as well. But a woman has attached to her crown um a a ball that is like a it's not a rock, it's more something like a crystallized type of rock, like those type of gems that you could dig up and stuff. So it's like a crystallized stone or something that is shaped in the form, and it's a yellow one, which I don't know if that's that dang, is that the selenite or something? It might be the selenite, but I'm not into crystals like that, but I just know a little bit about some of them. But it might be the selenite. So um sitting on the top of her crown in ancient Kemet days. That is to represent the sun, because people say that the Egyptians worshiped the sun, but it wasn't that they worshiped the sun. They equated the highest source, the sun, with God. You understand what I'm saying? So the highest source, the sun, was God. And why would it sit on the top of a woman's head? Is because they believed that the woman was the highest source of the land. So if we actually listen to what they thought, the highest source of the land was women. The women were the ones who were, uh, what do I want to say? I'm going to be careful with what I say. The women were the ones who were worshiped. That's what I said. So, and in my translation, and even I talked to somebody from the other side this morning, and I was so shocked because this person wants me to do an interview with this person so he could set some of these young men that he participated in guiding them in a more chauvinistic um type of way, like a kind of belittling woman type of way. He wants me to interview him so he can set the record straight that he is not on the same thing over in the afterlife. He is not on the same path, and he does not want any of his teachings to be carried on like as a legacy of his. But I mean, I know how it is nowadays. Once it's in the internet, there's really nothing you can do about it. But it's a person that for some reason, I just decided to ask him, what has he learned now that he knows what he knows? And when I said that, I know they're gonna probably turn me off now, but I really don't care. I'm just saying God's truth, that the most high divine God is a woman. Is not a woman, is the divine feminine. Okay? So we have two principles within us, all of us. We have divine masculine and divine feminine. But God made sure to tell me one day when I don't know, I never even looked at it like this, but one day I just thought that, God was the same thing that I just said. Divine masculine and the divine feminine together represents God. But God went out of God's way to let me know that is not entirely true, honey. Like, yes, these two elements exist, but the dominant force is the divine feminine. And that means God is the divine feminine. Okay? So y'all could believe that the man is God and that the man should be the head and that the man makes the world go round and that the world will not go, the second in command next to God is the man. God is not the man. God is the divine feminine. And so if God is the divine feminine, going by y'all rules, what does that mean? Does that mean that the woman is the next in line ahead of, second to the most high divine goddess? See, I ain't ready for what I got to say. So so anyway, I just wanted to bring that about. I just wanted to, and to show you that you can find it in the ancient hieroglyphics. When they depict Isis, they depict her with a crown and a yellow crystalline. And it's not just Isis, but that's the only one I could find now. For some reason, they are going through great lengths to change the ancient Kemetic crowns. And I'm like, what the heck? Because I know before I was looking for this, I would always find it. And when they changed the form of the crown, because it used to be like that, it used to be two things to hold this I guess is a selenite crystal in place that would represent the sun, right? So it used to be like that. But then as time went on, they started just wearing the gold crown and carving the sun into the crown to represent, on the woman's crown, to represent um that the sun. But somewhere along the line, they started doing all this different stuff, other stuff, and then they started trying to make it that the woman's crown is the snake. I don't think that's the woman's crown. That's the man's crown. Is that the man's crown, God? Yeah, that's the man's crown. That's not the woman's crown. And now all of a sudden they just changed everything around and trying to feed us distorted truth. But yeah, I seen the other ones before this, before. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they trying to do or what is the purpose of switching things around. I guess trying to confuse us, but I already know the truth, so I can't be confused. But anyway, I just came to y'all today to say the truth. And the truth is that the most high divine goddess, who y'all call God, is a woman, or is the divine feminine spirit. So I hope all you chauvinistic, pig-headed men are ready to face God with all of this foolishness that y'all keep spewing and trying to shove down our throats. Um, I can't wait. I wish I would pay to be able to be a fly on a wall when you have to go meet your maker. And when that maker speaks, because I don't think you're going to meet God face to face, but when God speaks, it's a woman's voice. I would pay money to see y'all crap y'all pants or crap yourselves, but you're going to be a spirit form, so you can't literally crap yourself. But I wish I could be there to know and see this happen, for all the disrespect you have shown women in your time is just ridiculous. And just the people that refuse to learn knowledge, they just want to continue to embrace a book that was created 325 years after the person that the whole book was made around, Jesus, ever walked the earth. So that should tell you something. Ask yourself, why is that? But I'm not trying to down anybody's religion or their book. But I'm saying, just ask yourself, why was that created 325 years after Jesus lived? It sounds like an agenda to me. But that's just my take. But so that's why I feel like 2020 was the year of opening up our eyes, of perfect vision, of seeing everything you were supposed to see. Being everything that needed to be revealed was revealed to me in 2020, including my spiritual gifts were uplifted. Um, Just agendas were revealed. What is the truth, what is not was revealed. Um, just a little bit of everything that I needed to know was revealed while we were sitting down in that pandemic. So uh I'm just trying to do my part and trying to enlighten the world that there's more out there than just what we were kind of force fed in this world. It might be from our generations, but believe me, if our generations knew that this was not the truth, they would never have force fed us this. So I just want everyone to be open minded, to actually do your research, research your history, find out who you are, find out the truth in the world. Find out if what I'm saying about God being a divine feminine, find out if that's a truth or is it a lie. Find out if the hieroglyph I speak of exists. Find out if the man's um crown is a snake or not. Find out if the man's crown is a throne or not. Is the man's crown a throne? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just making sure. But yeah, find out if what I say is true and find out if what I say is false. I'm just coming here. I'm just, I had to watch what I say because somebody else I watch says that they're just a messenger. But the crazy thing is, I get that from my mother. She says that I'm just a messenger. Yes, every time, or she'll say, "Don't shoot the messenger." Ooh, forgive me for saying that word. I hope I don't get struck off just because I said that word, but that's what she says. So, um, I guess the moral of all of this is be careful of how you treat women. Be careful at how you look to women or look at women. Be careful what you think a woman should be to you. And if that is whatever you think a woman should be to you, could you handle your mother being that to someone else? Do you think your mother will stand for the attitude that you have towards women? Would you talk to your mother with that mouth? Would you speak to your mother the way you speak to women? I think that's the moral of this one today. And when all of that is said and done, just remember that after your life is over on this earth, there is a thing called the afterlife where you have to meet your maker. And when you meet your maker and find out that the most high divine God is the divine feminine spirit speaking to you, a woman's voice speaking to you, how are you going to try to clean up the damage you have done on this earth towards women and aiming at women? All right. So that's all I had to say today. Hopefully, you know, um, this sinks in. This is a message that sinks into people. If not, I just did my part. That's what I did, what God wants me to do. And thank you for busting up with me. I appreciate whoever came out and pulled up. I appreciate your time. Um, if you are interested in giving or supporting my channel, you see the Cash App scrolling across the bottom. All donations is appreciated. I just decided to stop doing the PayPal because I'm just not that well versed in that, and I don't know if I got it, would I know what I'm doing? So I just decided to leave that alone. I have it, but I just don't even want to start messing with that. I'm just only having the Cash App. If you would like to give, everything you give is appreciated. If you wish to contact me, my email is in the description box, and my It's something else. Hold up. My email is in the description box, and my text number is in the description box as well. It's a number that you can call and text, but you're better off texting because I will never answer it if you call. So uh, it's a text number, and I have the email. So thank you for whoever busted up with me, pulled up, listened to what I had to say. Um, I don't come to you just capping, as the young bucks say. I don't. I came to deliver a message from God, and like it or not, that's what it is. And that's all I gotta say today. Thank you for the people that busted up with me. I appreciate your time. Love y'all. Mwah. Peace.